our CEO sir, and respected today Chief Guest Padmasri, PR Krishnakumar, Managing Director, the Arya YPF Pharmacy Coimbatore Limited, Chancellor, Avinash Lingam, Institute of Home Science and Higher Education for Women, Coimbatore, and respected Principal Ma'am, and respected Adapted Department Ma'am, and my dear colleagues and student of Nagaru Institute of Management Studies, and faculty from our MCA groups, and other teaching faculty members, and industrialists from all over the world. So very good morning to everyone. So we Nagaru Institute of Management Studies, we welcome for this webinar. So each and everything we can start with a prayer. So now I request our second year MBA student Aditya Krishnan to sing a prayer song.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, Aditya.
Yeah, yes, clear.
Okay. मैत्रीं भजत अखिलहृजेत्रीं मैत्रीं भजत अखिलहृजेत्रीं मैत्रीं भजत अखिलहृजेत्रीं आत्मवदेव परानपि पश्यत आत्मवदेव परानपि पश्यथ युद्ध स्पर्धां त्यजथ युद्धं त्यजथ स्पर्धां त्यजथ त्यजत परेश अक्रमाक्रमणं त्यजत परेश अक्रमाक्रमणं मैत्रीं भजथ अखिलहृजेत्रीं मैत्रीं भजथ अखिलहृजेत्रीं.
Thank you, Aditya, for your beautiful voice, and you just make it as that puja hall in online mode. Thank you very much. And so welcoming is our traditional and is a happy moment for everyone. So now I request our principal ma'am, Dr. K. Nandini, to deliver the welcome address. Please, ma'am.
Good morning, all of you. I'm really, it is a great blessing today to have our great personality, Padmasri Dr. PR Krishnakumar sir to address us, and our CEO sir who's here to deliver the presidential address. On behalf of all of you, it is my pleasure to welcome our CEO and Secretary sir, who's the backbone of all our activities, and who is a constant motivator and a guider for all the activities at Nehru Group of Institutions, Tamil Nadu and Kerala. So I take this opportunity to welcome our CEO and Secretary sir for kindly accepting to preside over amidst all your busy schedule. The whole week you are jam-packed with the programs and activities and meetings. At the weekend, we had the privilege to have you. So on behalf of Nehru Group of Institutions and NIMS, I welcome you, sir, for this forum of our 12th webinar on time for looking inwards, why COVID. Welcome, sir. And our today's chief guest, the most honorable and respected Padmasri Dr. PR Krishnakumar, sir, Managing Director of AVP, and Chancellor, Honorable Chancellor of Avinash Lingam Deemed University, Higher Education for Women. This is an exclusive opportunity for us. I've been following up, sir, for the past 15-20 days. I've been going on texting him, sir, I want your appointment. I want a date for addressing in our webinar. Sir had lot of commitments to all the participants across the country, and from a few of them are from abroad. Sir, at such a busy person, wakes up early in the morning, handles the class in the online mode at 5 o'clock for his students. That is the kind of commitment what our sir has got, and I was really amused the way sir is handling the classes at 5 o'clock in the morning. And till the evening late hours, he's busy, jam-packed with lot of meetings and programs. In spite of all that commitments, today I got a blessing that he's agreed and amidst us today, being an auspicious day, it is a great blessing for Nehru Group of Institutions to have you all addressing us, sir, on behalf of Nehru Group of Institutions and Nehru Institute of Management Studies. We welcome you wholeheartedly to address this webinar, sir. And I welcome the participants from all over the country and our sister concern institutions who are participating in this webinar, and my beloved students from different parts of the country, and my own students of Nehru Institute of Management Studies, my first years and second years, my faculty members, my HOD, and all the Nehru Group members, family members who are joined here. And my exclusive thanks to team media who has taken this program to a greater extent of creating an AV, special AV to surprise our guest today. Thank you team media for that. And I welcome you all for this great session. We are really blessed to hear from sir on this current situation. This is the time where we really require a kind of a motivation. We really require a lot of mental strength to undergo this pressure. Day by day, we have a lot of pressure, emotional pressures. In order to cope up all those emotional pressures, it is our blessing that we are having sir, who will be addressing us with a lot of positivity and energy. Whenever, I'm sure my CEO sir also will agree, whenever we meet sir, we will be able to get that positivity. We will be able to feel that positivity and energy whenever we are meeting sir in person. I hardly meet him yearly twice or thrice. So whenever I meet him, I get the blessing for the whole year. So this year, our NGI is going to get a lot of blessing because we are having sir on the online board. All our children will be blessed, and all our faculty members and the management. Everybody will be blessed, and the participants, you will really experience the change after this 30 or 35 minutes of sir's speech. On behalf of all of you, it is my pleasure to welcome you, sir, once again. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, over to
ma'am,
you, Ganesh.
thank you very much, ma'am, for your wonderful welcome address. So the function we always start with that, the president. So now I request our CEO sir will deliver the presidential address. Please, sir.
Good morning, all, and my pranam to my great godfather or my who's a motivator for me, Krishnakumar ji sir, now the Vice Chancellor of Avinash University, and our Managing Director of AVP. Is it audible? Clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Clear, sir. Clear.
Okay.
Yes, sir, it is clear, sir.
Okay. So I'm so delighted today. I was blessed to see sir because during this COVID time, I didn't able to get the blessing. So otherwise, I used to go to the temple and we used to get the blessing. So I'm so delighted. Sir has accepted today, being a Sunday also. And I was recollecting one of the greatest occasion during this COVID time. What Sir has done is that Sir has got exclusively a online meeting with Modi ji sir for Ayurveda promotion. And after that, I think after 2 months, now it is already almost 2 months is over. Lot of protests has come. So I think sir always take that initiative and give a clear message to the world. Ayurveda is the best thing, and I feel that sir is always, always throughout his life supporting us. But during this occasion, I'll take this great opportunity to thank sir. He's like my father because always bless me. No other suggestion. Always support me and motivate me. So I don't have words because I am losing my words because in front of sir, I don't have anything to tell. I really thank Nandini madam for getting this acceptance and the entire team of names for making this day meaningful. I think listening to sir is always, as ma'am said, it is for 6 months or 1 year, always will be there. But we have to learn. And sir got up at I mean, always get up at 4 o'clock and go to the night. I mean, bed only at 12 o'clock. Like that, ma'am is always, I mean, sir is always there. I take this opportunity to officially preside and tell that I'm so thankful to sir. It's like my father and godfather. Always supported NGI at any point of time during this COVID also, prior to this also, so many years back. And I'm so thankful, madam. We got a great blessing today. It is only a blessing. I mean, beyond this, I don't have words. It is just want to listen from Krishnakumarji. I mean, Padmasri, the great person of Coimbatore who has made Ayurveda to this highest level. Everyone is trying, but sir is always for that. I think our promo surprise for sir is one of our best gift from our media team. Sir has to say that. How is it? Thank you so much. വാക്കുകളില്ല സത്യം പറഞ്ഞാൽ എനിക്ക് എന്താ എക്സൈറ്റഡ് ആവുണ്ട് ഞാനൊന്നും വാക്കുകൾ കൂടുതൽ പറയുന്നില്ല always it is a blessing for us. Beyond this, I don't know why should I use words. I mean, it is all blessing for us. Yes.
Really, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your wonderful words about our guest, and you also very openly tell about your expectations. So thank you very much for that. And so I hope that in Coimbatore is well aware of our today guest, but we have a participant in all over the world, different states of India. So now I request our professor, assistant professor, Nagaru Institute of Management Studies, Mr. Prakash, to introduce our chief guest. Please, sir.
Good morning, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes.
sir. You're audible, Prakash, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. So, respected trustees, sir, Krishnakumar sir in absence here, and respected CEO Krishnakumar sir. Very good morning, sir. Beloved, our honorable chief guest, Padmasri PR Krishnakumar sir, MD of Ayurveda Pharmacy, respected principal madam, HOD ma'am, and colleague Dr. Kannak sir, and all NGA faculties who are present here, and participants from various places, and including from outside other countries. So, very good morning to one and all present here. It gives me an immense pleasure to introduce our chief guest, Mr. Padmasri PR Krishnakumar sir, Managing Director of Ayurveda Pharmacy, Coimbatore Limited. So, sir is also Vice Chancellor for Awareness Lingam Institute of Home Science and Higher Education for Women, Coimbatore. Then, sir set up first Gurukula Ayurvedic College in country, which was 100% free boarding, lodging, books, clothes, and tuition. So there is lot to say, but because of limited time and yes, sir, CEO sir told we are going to say about only few things. So sir has to please apologize us. Then sir said the first collaborative research project in traditional medicine with the WHO, World Health Organization. Then sir launched a popular journal of Ayurvedic in English in 1970s. Then sir established Ayurvedic Trust Hospital and Research Institute in Coimbatore, received so many prestigious awards. So we are going to mention only few, because if we say the so many awards, it will take at least minimum half an hour. Then sir has visited more than 50 countries promoting the cause of Ayurveda. Then sir involved in many organizations as its managing trustee and trustee. So sir has been awarded Padmasri President by President of India in the year of 2009. Then sir is a member of governing council of prestigious colleges in Coimbatore, like our Nehru College, Krishna College, each having more than 15,000 students that everybody may be knowing. Then sir is awarded as Patanjali Ayurveda Gurukula Samman by Sri Baba Ramdev sir. Then sir awarded the iconic ambassador of CVE by Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Coimbatore. Then national sir received National Dhanvantri Award by Rashtriya Ayurvedic Ayurveda. Then at Vidyabhet. So like that, Sar has been received so many awards. So yes, like that, we are all having a surprise by going to see the video. So with this a short note, I'm going to complete my introduction about the chief guest. But there is lot to say about that. But we are going to eagerly, as like he was told, by watching the video, we'll be going to learn lot. So thank you so much for this opportunity. So thank you, our most respected trustee sir, our chief guest, principal madam, HOD ma'am. So whoever present, a lot of thanks to everybody. So with this, I'm concluding my introduction about the chief guest. So thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you, sir. Over to Kanan, sir. Thanks, sir.
Thank you, Prakash sir, for your beautiful intro about our today guest. And now it's a gift to our chief guest from our NGI media team. They developed one small AV about our today chief guest. So I request all the participants, please be patient because I'm going to play the video. It may take a few minutes time to convert that mode from the join to presenter mode. So please be patient. So that AV about our today guest.
Yeah, video.
Padmasri P.R. Krishnakumar, Managing Director of the Aryavaidya Pharmacy, Coimbatore. Like his father and founder of AVP, Aryan Vaidyan P.V. Rama Warrior, leads a zealous quest for excellence both in service and products. His leadership has ushered into new avenues like creating an awareness about Ayurveda at the World Health Organization and thereby made a great breakthrough for the science to be made known for the world over. He has to the credit of successfully setting up of first Gurukula Ayurvedic College in the country with 100% free facilities. He did his first collaborative research project in traditional medicine with the World Health Organization and launched a popular journal of Ayurveda in English in the 70s. He established the Ayurvedic Trust Hospital and Research Institute at Coimbatore and also set up a number of centers and joint institutions in many parts of the country in collaboration with Hindustan Lever, Taj Group, etc. He established the International Institute of Ayurveda for Research, for which the foundation stone was laid in the year 1978 by the then President of India, Sri N. Sanjeeva Reddy, which is recognized by the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. He has visited more than 50 countries promoting the cause of Ayurveda. He is also the chairman and managing director of Care Keralam, a consortium of all the 900 manufacturers of Ayurvedic medicines of Kerala, a venture promoted by the government of Kerala. He also organized the largest global Ayurvedic convention at Coimbatore in the year 2008. Sri P.R. Krishnakumar was awarded Padmasri by the President of India in the year 2009. He is a member of Governing Council of prestigious colleges in Coimbatore. He is felicitated with Glorious Captain Industry Award, Patanjali Ayurved Gaurav Samman Award, Kulapti Munshi Award, Doctor of Science degree by Kuvempu University of Karnataka, Vaidya Sundarlal Joshi Smriti Prabandhana Puraskara, National Dhanvantari Ayurveda Award, and he is the iconic ambassador of Coimbatore as regarded by the Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Coimbatore. Presently, Sir is the Chancellor of Avinashi Lingam Institute of Home Science and Higher Education for Women. Thank you.
Sir, we welcome you to address this webinar, sir. The forum is yours, sir, now.
Invoking the blessings of the Lord, most respected CEO of the Nehru Group of Institutions, my brother Dr. Krishnakumar ji, respected Nandini ma'am, other most respected heads of institutions, heads of departments, professors, scholars, and my dear students, and the members of the Nehru family of colleges who organized this program today. My very warm, humble good morning to all of you. I've always been a part and parcel of Nehru College, and I can never say no, however busy I am. It's like a homecoming. Unfortunately, this time it's only through long distance virtual conference. Otherwise, visiting their campus has always been a pleasure. Well, Nandini ji was very keen that I come and speak to, most of them would be professors, and I dare not try to advise or talk to such great scholars, men and women of great wisdom. But now a situation has come, everybody is looking for some way how to get out of this pandemic situation. World over is under fear. Every day there are 3 or 4 webinars on nothing but COVID, what we call corona. And I keep telling in every conference, corona has come as a karunya. Karunya means compassion. Why? If a small atom or a smaller paramanu can make the whole world come to standstill, imagine how powerful that small, mighty organism is. And today, nobody is able to find it out. So much of research is going on. So much of fear. What is going to happen? Lockdown everywhere, thanks to the lockdown, but for which none of us would have found time for a wonderful sitting like this. I'm honored that I could meet all of you. I keep telling the world, every day new gadgets are coming, new cell phones, new laptops, new computers, new so many machineries. With all of them, there comes a small booklet, or through the web, you can find out what are the great powers those gadgets have. And we master it so much. And we know everything out of it. I keep saying, even a child coming out of the womb comes with a remote control, knowing how to operate the television, how to operate the cell phone, and everybody has learned everything. Most of you are MBA professors and students, Master of Business Administration, but I have a different interpretation. How many of you are aware of Master of Body Administration? The greatest creation of the Lord is a human being. Anthony Robbins, a great management guru, says, awaken the giant within you. And are we aware of what is the giant within us? There is immense potential within us that can be brought out. And if man can find out so many great gadgets, etc., can the man who has been created by God not do wonders to the whole world? And this is the country which we call Punya Bhumi. In any language you take it, they say, yes, Bharat is a Punya Bhumi. Why? This was a nation which 10,000 years ago came out with 64 arts and sciences. For example, my own science discipline is Ayurveda. 10,000 years ago, with no wonderful laboratories like the Nehru College or any great libraries, how did they find out the difference between mother's milk and cow's milk? How did they find out every herb which has certain qualities? How you can treat them? So this is not a science which came from human beings. Ken Wilber, the great scientist, writer, philosopher, says there are 3 levels of eyes. One is a biological eye. You have your naked eye, or you use your microscopes and so many other gadgets, spectrophotometers, etc. Then you have an eye of the mind. And then ultimately you have an eye of consciousness. And all these sciences came from the eye of consciousness. And today, the West, which never believed that man has anything to do, spirit has anything to do with the external world, For them, everything was physics and chemistry. And today, that world has started accepting that one has to elevate oneself to a higher level of consciousness. And that's why I gave the topic time to look within. All of us, all the time, are used to looking outside. You have a financial problem, you go to the bank for a loan. You have some other problem, you go to somebody else. But here, everybody is looking at each other and asking, where do we go inside? And if you're honest to yourself, you will get the answer. Man and nature, according to Ayurveda, is the Panchabhutas, the five elements. We call it Prithvi, Up, Tejas, Vayu, Akasham, earth, fire, water, ether, air. And we are all constituted of the same thing. Whether it's a tree, whether it's a rock, whether it's human being, we all belong to the same category, but manifested in different forms. But have we ever considered any of them? How much of air, pure air we breathe? Have you ever been grateful to that? Are we aware that we have a maker? All of us are fortunately born into wonderful, beautiful families. Did we choose them? And all of us fortunately born with all our body parts intact. And what miracle is happening within your body? 1.7 trillion cells are there in your body. And every cell keeps dying and again taking birth. And that's why in Hinduism we call what the dancing Shiva, the dance within your body. If you are conscious, but we are so ignorant about it, we take it for granted that machine has to keep running. How many kilometers of blood goes through your heart? How many amount of waste as urine goes through your kidneys? Have you ever been grateful to any of them? Have you ever thanked the Lord for that? And how much of carbon dioxide we let out of the world and impurify it? Have we been regretting that? Nothing. We took life for granted. Everything that I wish, my five senses have to be entertained, viewing all the wrong things, hearing all the wrong things, talking all the wrong things, etc. And what are the great manuals that have been given how to maintain this machine called man? And that is what the Upanishads are, the Vedas are. Ayurveda is the Panchama Veda, the fifth Veda. It talks so intrinsically. Ayurveda is not a medical system. It's a way of living. We have our own system in Tamil Nadu called Siddha system. And those great texts say how to live, how not to live. And it is so personalized. If you're tall, heavy, what are the do's and don'ts? If you're short and fat, what are the do's and don'ts? It even prescribes what time of the day you should wake up. There is a biological clock within our body about which you are not aware. And today, I, being the chancellor, I'm in touch with most of the 3,000 children on WhatsApp, all going to bed at 1:32. Were you helping Modi ji in running the country? And when I asked them, what time do you wake up? Very early in the morning by 7:30, disaster for you. Wake up in the morning. And today, from every nook and corner, the questions are, for immunity, what should we do? Immunity is not something that you can buy from a mall and fix it onto you like a wall or something, but something which you build up right from the time you are in the womb of your mother. The mothers who are expecting has to give so much of care, so much of lessons, so much of dialogue with the child after third month. And the first element that comes for life in the body is the ears. And that's why olden days, they used to come and chant mantra into the mother's stomach, teach them, and you found prodigies at the age of 10 and 12. We forgot all that. Today, in the 10th month of pregnancy, you can see him in the cinema theaters. You go and watch a film, Dracula, and you bring out a Dracula. Instead of bringing a child of grace. But how? Prayer. And today, prayer means people think it's only going there for demand sheet, like going to a mall. give my son a job, give my daughter this, my wife, my husband. But how many of us go to thank the Lord for whatever He has given us? And to say how selfish human beings have become. In our temple, in the Dhanvantari temple, about which Krishnakumarji mentioned, daily about 3,000 people come. And there are, in the great text, in the Atharva Veda, it talks about 134 varieties of viruses. And there are beautiful mantras to keep them away. So I selected one of them and said, start a havan for 48 days, not for me or my family, but for the whole world which has been affected with corona. And I sent out more than 1,000 invitations. Please come to pray for those souls who left because of such a terrible, disastrous disease. And would you believe, not one turned up. That means you are interested only in your personal selfish care. Can't you have, we talk about everything, how to be compassionate, how to be loving, how to be caring. But all this is only in theory. We had no time for anything, morning to night busy. But ask yourself, Swami Shivanji had said, at the end of the day, try to draw a balance sheet. Yesterday, I said 4 lies. Today, only 2 lies. Very good. 100% you improved. Yesterday, I thought of 3 good acts. Today, I thought of 5 good acts. Very good, you improved. Yesterday, I thought of helping one friend. Today, I never even thought of a good work I should do. Very bad. This way, you have to, and for that, these are what are called the gunas in yours. Right now, Nandini was mentioning about my taking classes for students at 5 o'clock in the morning. Now a new generation of youngsters have come up asking, what is this whole world about? India is the only country which has asked the question, who am I? Why am I here? What is my purpose in life? Lord never created a single creature by accident. It was all a planned production with a definite responsibility. But we are not aware of it. We come here and we do whatever we feel like, and end of your whole life, while in the deathbed, you feel guilty. Oh my God, I never did anything for the world. And by the time they start thinking, there was somebody, a great, great philanthropist, who used to do help a lot of people. One day he called me up and said, I'm coming down from Tirupati. I want to see you immediately. Fly down to Chennai. I went there. He said, Krishnakumar, I never ever asked you or ever gave you any support. What can I do for you? I said, sir, my demand and problems are millions of dollars I need. I want to make Ayurveda the global system of medicine. You can't afford to fund me. I have never fallen for people's money because it is not the man who gives us the money, but the Lord who made you who gives it. Only thing I always tell, the Lord is a Marwadi. He never gives you 5 rupees extra than what you need. Have a master plan and He gives it to you. And what is the method to bring it out? The only method to bring it out is my prescription for the whole world. We have lots of students coming from, including China, Japan, Brazil, Argentina, Greece, all the places. Wake up early in the morning. And they ask, waking up, what do I do? And first you wake up. When you wake up, the scientists have said per day, a fellow who's got brains, more than 22,500 thoughts pass through that. Look at the heavy traffic in the brain. Where is the time for you to still your mind, quieten your mind, reduce them and bring it down? And that is the process, what is called the meditation. Once you are able to bring that mind under control, you must have seen the pictures of Gita Upadeshan, the horses being pulled back. You see people going for a walk in the morning. You are supposed to be taking the dog for the walk, but actually the dog is taking you for a walk. We have no control over our senses. If you can withdraw from the outer world, concentrate a little more on the inner aspect, which is what I said, master of body administration. Sadhguruji talks about inner engineering. There is so much we can do. There are so many different ways by which you can elevate yourself beyond a human body. And if today you can talk on a cell phone from here to New York in 2 seconds, can we not also do the same thing with the mind? And I always keep saying, every word you uttered is there in the atmosphere. You put ABC music, Australian Broadcasting Corporation, you can get Australian music. You put BBC, British, CBC, Canadian, which means if you have a transmitter which is powerful, you can tune in for that. And how do the great scientists? And I'm only sad, India, we claim the best brains are in India. Nehru colleges produce some brilliant brains, most of them, but ultimately not at the great level to which you can. Last time there was a big conference here of all the doctors. There were 3 Padma Vibhushans and 4 Padma Bhushans and Padmasris. I told them, last 5 Nobel Prize winners have all won the award based on Indian Shastras, or rather based on Ayurveda. Could you people not have taken it up? The Westerner takes India so seriously. All of them come in large numbers. The way they sit and study in our college in the forest in Mangari, you feel they are going to write an exam. Ask them who they are. They are professor of entomology, professor of different shastras, realizing their limitations. And today the whole world has realized Western medicine has its own limitations. With due respect to doctors, in case you are there in the audience, I say to become a Western medical doctor, you don't need much brain. You master a body like mine, 6 feet by 3 feet. That's the end of it. A few classical textbook of diagnosis and treatment, classical treatments are ready. But an Ayurvedic physician has to know every plant, every planet, every metal, every mineral, every animal. We make so many medicines out of animals, out of crocodiles. With the rat, we make medicines for specific reasons. And if to know all that, humanly is impossible, which means unless you go to a supra-consciousness level. And this applies to students of engineering. I heard quite a few of engineering faculty and students, or anything. And how to become a master of business administration, master yourself, and it is not you who manages, the maker of you, through you, perform wonders. Bhagavad Gita says, Nimitta matram bhavasavya sachin. You are only an instrument. And what is the greatest obstacle which does not allow you to perform goodness? Your ego. I am a gold medalist. My biodata, and that's why I always request, even yesterday, they had asked me for my old films. I said, please don't give it. What is the fun in telling when I know I am not the doer? Then who are you? You are a mere witness. The world goes with you, without you. The less of you, the better of things to happen. The more of you inside it, the less of things happening. But if these basic qualifications, and that's why thanks to Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji, who has now come up with a new education policy, where India has to be taught the Indian way of teaching. Ancient days, there were 2 streams of education in India called Paravidya and Aparavidya. One is you know everything in the outer world, nothing about yourself. Whereas if you can have Paravidya, who am I? Why am I here? What is the message for me? What is the mission in life I should take it up? And arrogant people say, don't we have a free will to do what we want? May your free will be part of His will. When I say His will, I'm not specifying any religion. This is in the field of spirituality, you go beyond being a Hindu or a Christian or Muslim. And at that level, you don't differentiate between any religion. All the religions have shown us the same path, destination, same thing. When we can know these arts, that doesn't mean you should become a sannyasi, giving up everything and saying, sir, withdraw from all the outer activity. No, your outer activity would have a meaning. Today, ask yourself when going home, how was my day? What did I really achieve? Did I do anything worthwhile for the world? But you find you did only personal, selfish, petty activity. And all the religions say, be outgoing, be selfless, and let not there be any desire for your action. It should not, the fruit should not be desired. Your job is to run, and it's for the Lord to make you the first in the running race. But we have all been told in Ayurveda, the first lesson we learn is the disease of the mind, which means the whole world today is a patient of one type or the other. Either you have a physical medical problem or you have a mental problem. And what is the medical problem? Kama, Krodha, Mada, Moha, Matsarya. Kama, full of lust. You see teachers raping grandchildren, getting hold of small children doing. Krodha, look at the anger. The minute you get angry, you take a hammer and beat your wife and kill her. Krodha. Moha, desire for everything. Somebody builds a nice college, they don't know how much of work has to go into it to make it into a successful institution. I also built a college. And what is your background? Nil, zero. And that's why I think Tamil Nadu got more than 80 colleges for sale. Kamakrodha, Madam, arrogance. I am so and so. And all the great people who cheated the world and made money, where are all of them? Behind the bars. So you have that. Then ultimately, Matsarya Buddhi, competition. You teach the first standard child of yours, go and make sure you get more marks than your neighbor. Why compete? That child is supposed to be an artist. Your child is supposed to become a scientist. And without knowing these two, I compete with you. And this is where the foolish British education came and killed. Of course, they had a conspiracy to create more clerks and peons. And today, with due respect to all the colleges, how many unemployed people have you created? How many of the mechanical engineers are Ola drivers today? The poor parents who are villagers, Avinashingam, I know, all the girls are the first generation majority. I myself personally go and sit there on the admission day, and you find the parent and the girl coming and saying, what should I do with this? Not knowing how to fill up an application form. You ask the girl, what would you like to study? First thing she says, BCom. BCom, this time I think our cutoff mark was 97. And finally they say, நீங்க எது வேணா போட்டு கொடுங்க. Why should you study? So I told the girls one day, when you said empowering women some special day, Amazon.com, you can see cow dung cake being sold at 700 rupees. Olden days, while you pass in a train, on every wall in the village, you can see cow dung cakes made and kept. I said, go back to your grandfathers. Most of them are farmers, villagers. Make it. You can make 5 a day, you make 3,500 rupees. But I am a graduate. How can I go into this job? If you have a dignity of labor, most of you must have read about the kirakadai.com. How an engineer, knowing that there is no future for him as an engineer, finds out the varieties of kire available, 123 varieties, goes and cultivates, and today is running an air-conditioned showroom, doing very well. Choose your jobs, but for all that, that humility is required. Yesterday, a Muslim friend of mine, whom I met him in IIM Calicut, gets an award from Infosys for some of his amazing findings. He says, the more I withdraw and the more I realize that all that I studied is only a part of it, but there is some inspiration from within me. And he's a meditator. He's a good Muslim. He prays 5 times a day. But today, it's something to be ashamed of. And you think you should go to the temple. Of course, the Muslim prays 5 times, the Christian goes to church on Sunday, but the Hindu, with due respect, I am also a Hindu, we hardly pray. And prayer is not a demand sheet or the type of visit that we make more as a customary visit, but going deeper and delving within you. And once you can within your body, there are chakras. Learn to elevate the chakra from Muladhara, bring it up to Sahasrara. You can be one of the most brilliant scientists in the country, most brilliant creators. All the great scientists you must have seen jumped out of the bathtub and went and shouted out, "Am I finding?" Somebody jumped out from bed that night and came. It is not the rationalistic mind, but the mind of the intuition. And we have a Shastra called Tantra Shastra. You can master it, how your right hemisphere can be shifted to left hemisphere in the brain and the left to the right, and you get intuitive ideas. For that, you should be able to spare some time for your own self. And you're not doing this as charity for the whole world. It's for your own success. But today, we are totally lost. We don't know what to do. And Ayurveda and Siddha has got so many methods by which your immunity can be preserved. Ayurveda talks about waking up early in the morning, meditate for some time. There are certain herbal mixtures you can take it, do the breathing exercises, expand your lung, and based on your body constitution, avoid certain things. And today, and have proper time of eating food, proper time of going to bed, and ultimately, I have a purpose in life. Do I have a goal in life? How many of us have ever in the classroom told the children, I have a goal in life? My favorite topic when I talk to teachers are the difference between a guru and an acharya. There are a long list of things. All your professors should become your acharyas and gurus to guide the next generation of students. And Modi ji proudly goes around the world claiming India is going to be the youngest country. Now, these young people are going to be a burden or are they an asset? If we can train them the right way, in the next 5, Kasturi Ranganji, who is the chairman of the new education policy, says it will take another 10 years. Yes, to remove all this which is being taught in the name of education and replacing all those with new thoughts. Now, almost all the great global findings which have been claimed by Americans and Europeans as their name, these are all Indian findings. But in India, we don't write our name because we know it is not we who created it. It is through us that the greater power created, and I have no right to claim finding by, discovered by. These were all robbed from our country. Now, one by one is being revealed, is being brought back. In Coimbatore, I'm sure many of you must have seen Michel Danino, a French Indologist who knows more than anybody else about India's culture. And he went to Gujarat when Modi was the chief minister. I told him, would you like to say namaste to Modi ji? He said, yeah, that'd be a great desire. When he goes there, he finds this man has called the whole cabinet, called the whole IAS group and said, Michel will now make a presentation. When he made the presentation, he called a Tamil IAS lady, Devi Jayanti, and said, sit with them and convert this all into a syllabus in the Gujarat University. And now he has been taken over from Coimbatore. He was living near Peru. And now he's a professor in IIT Gandhinagar, creating a new syllabus of thoughts of how this should be taught. And everybody from here, if you are a brilliant boy, you run to the US. Today, the wind has changed the other way around. Students from other countries. The other day, I had a girl from China. She came and said, I went to Oxford thinking Oxford was the place where Sanskrit was born. Then they told me it was in India. And she has come here. Why do you want to learn Sanskrit? She said, there is so much of wealth through Sanskrit I can read and understand. So now the time has come. The world is demanding, but where are the supplies? Where are the people who can contribute? You go to any part of the world. I went to an unknown African country and was staying with the Indian women from Coimbatore. The son who looks very modern with the tuft and the ring and all sorts of dresses. Uncle, give me a small paragraph on Ramayana. I said, you look like one of the Vanaras. Why do you want about Ramayana? He says, no, I study in the American school. And there we have been given homework. But in India, in the name of secularism, you can't teach any of these things. Secularism is equal good studies. I was in Staines High School. I used to go to the chapel, sing all the beautiful kirtans or prayer songs of the Christian community. So what? It is ultimately, after all, seeking the blessings of the Lord. This old India should come back again, and for that, we are the ambassadors. You all are the creators of new generation of youngsters. The new young generation. It's not only me taking 5 a.m. classes. There are 770 students who learn from 6 to 8 the great Arabic text. Earlier, students who did not get seat, I used to jokingly say, when I went to study Ayurveda, the one who never got a cobbler's job or a butler's job went for Ayurveda. But today, children who got 97%, 98% are the students coming for Ayurveda. And they are going to be the most brilliant contributors for this. And today, the whole world is open to us. Our Prime Minister has given a lot of impetus to Ayurveda, created a ministry for Department of Ayush, invited projects after projects for research, offering any amount of money that is required, and trying to spread the message through Twitter in 200 languages to other countries, and the rush that is coming to India. When I spoke to him, I told him, sir, there are 10 major diseases in the world for which allopathy has no cure. If only Ayurveda has it. But unfortunately, we never documented it. He said, document it. And if the crowd can come, in every country, they've got Parkinson Association, Multiple Sclerosis Association, flooded with money. 1% of that patients can come. We need 1 lakh beds of Ayurveda. We need more than 10,000. Good doctors. I'm not talking of a degree holder, but ancient days, Vaidyas were like my father was they're all encyclopedia of Ayurveda. I don't believe they sat in the class and read. And I asked my father, how did you become a good Vaidya? He said, 20 hours a day, 20 years I sat at the feet of my master, and thereafter we came. And olden days method, there are 4 types of speeches. What I am doing now, blah, 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 to all of you, is the lowest way of communication. Olden days, the master, I'm sure many of the teachers are such elevated souls here. You have a favorite child, and you find he's more brilliant than the others. Why? The master transfers it mentally. And if we can even think of the word, there's another group of students who can pick it up before you talk. Don't we say many times, what a coincidence, I was about to say something and you're asking me the same thing. This was the ancient Indian education system. This system is going to come back to India. Get prepared for that. You have a great future. World says optimistic. Modi says don't go be a job hunter, but be a job creator. Today, thanks to the situation, many people have lost jobs and how they have become excellent startup people. One of the girls from Avnashlingam University, whom I tutored, took her in my hands and tried to educate. And today she's got more than 4 or 5 projects, 1 crore, 1.5 crore, 50 lakh on startup industries. I think she came to Nehru College also and took a class there. Now, this is the hidden potential in you. Bring it out. Get up in the morning. I know it's difficult, 20, 25 years of having slept for so many hours. And while introducing, Kananji was mentioning about how I go to bed late. A body which is so live and active does not need more than 3 to 4 hours of sleep. How does a Modi ji function? He goes abroad, comes back, gets off at the airport at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock he's in the office, and once he went to meet the president, and the president calls him alone and says, how many hours since you slept? He said 36 hours. Go to bed. He said impossible during daytime. A man with a mission. And practice yoga. That brings it today. The world is full of yogacharyas and teachers. If not the great gymnastic steps where your body cannot bend, do simple processes. Do your pranayama, do your breathing exercises, and you merge with the ultimate. And that is the time when the best potential comes in. I was told 40 minutes is the time given to me. I can go on talking the whole day. But if there are any questions, I love to interact with participants because that is where you get to know what others want to know. So far, you had no other voice as a monologue where I spoke, and you like it or not, you had to listen to it. So if the person permits, maybe 2 or 3 questions or whatever number, for me, working up to 11 p.m. is not a problem. I am at your disposal. Please pray. May the Lord bless every one of you. May Nehru College group of institutions grow from strength to strength, grow to greater heights, and may all the efforts of the college to bring more and more enlightened students be blessed by the Lord for all the great eminent professors who are participating from different parts of India. My good wishes to you. God bless you with Ayur Arogya Saukam. May you have a long life, may you have good health, and may you be prosperous. Namaste.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot, sir, for mind-blowing, speech by our resource persons. So now I request the participant kindly post your question in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself and ask to our guest directly. Yes.
Hello, sir. Am I
Yes, sir.
audible?
Yes, sir. Audible, sir. Please.
Yes, sir.
Krishnakumar ji, I am Anirudhan here from Nehru Arts and Science College.
Yes, Anaganji.
I am on your feet. Just one thing I would like to ask, that you have been telling about the virtues that this holy land has brought in, and somehow we got disconnected from this, and now the government is trying to bring it back. It may take 10 or more years to come back to normal. But then, what is it that we can advise the youth of this day to get a diversion from this prescribed syllabi and come back to the world of prayer and meditation in the present normal? Because they are into the gadgets. How do we track them to prayer and meditation and bring them back to Indian traditional track?
Well, when you can make something more attractive to them, you can see they are off the gadgets. Every year I conduct a program called Tattva Prakashani, enlightening the Tattvas, the basic truth. And we conduct this in a forest area where, thank God, there is no range. We get about 150 students from Assam, Northeast area, down up to Kanyakumari. And second day they come and say, sir, no range. I said, what do you want it for? You're coming here to keep messaging, or are you coming for some other purpose? And you find none of them for 15 days are connected with their television nor with cell phone. Make your subject interesting. I get the best teachers from India and Ayurveda, and each class is, unlike the class of 40 minutes, 4 hours. And you find the students so religiously listening to the teachers. We have clinical classes with the video camera showing the patient and telling them, and they say, oh my God, Ayurveda can cure this disease. In Ayurveda, there is emergency. Recently, we had a program of teaching emergency in Ayurveda. And who is doing this? A French doctor on emergency came. He is now staying in Anakati in the forest. He wanted to do it, and 1,100 participants were there. This is the type of interest you can create. And today there are so many wonderful mothers who have realized it's not worth sending children to the schools, so they have started homeschooling. In Cochin, they have started a craft school. Almost every child is full of wonderful, brilliant poetry, writing, music, dance. You kill all that and say, go and sit and learn history and geography, write exam. I studied in Staines High School, transnational and Siberian Railway. How does it help my Ayurveda? If I had gone for mantra, tantra, yantra, astrology, astronomy, I would have been a much greater Vaidya today for the world. So the common standard, and this is where the new difference has come, up to third standard, give your own mother tongue. And today, every child, even from the village, they go back at young age and say, hi, mommy and daddy. When does this mommy and daddy come? Beautiful words like Appa and Amma. So this should be told, but for that, the parents should be available. How many parents care about their children? Among the rich, you have an ayah culture. You deliver it, and third day you're back in office. As though without you that office doesn't. And government has done injustice to the industry or justice to the expectant mothers. I think 9 months of holidays you get. Can't you? This is a breastfeeding week. How many mothers have breastfed their children? Where is that love of the mother to the child? That is not there. The warmth of the mother is not there. You get disconnected from there. And the child, the moment it cries, even if it's a toddler, you give a cell phone and say, play with it. Correct yourself. And the other day, we had a group of young millionaires club or something. How do I bring up my child? I said, you live and show it. You live the right life and you see your child follows. Today's child is brilliant child, smart child. One day I had a millionaire who came to my office almost in tears. I said, Anna, what happened to you? He said, you won't believe I learned a great lesson from my doctor. He invited the father for a birthday party. As usual, business people, he forgot. He comes back home at 11 o'clock and the girl is on the dining table. First word he calls, I'm sorry to say this word on the television, bastard, he calls. And the father said, what did you call me? He said, I don't know. This is what you call everybody of your staff. You tell them lies that you are not in town. You are very much here. And you want me to be different from what you are. He said, that day he took a vow. I'll never use bad words. I will not tell lies. So today, your child has become your teacher. And this is what everybody should be. Ancient days, teaching was not a profession, teaching or medicine. Both were service. Of course, the teacher and the Vaidya needs to make a livelihood. And that is why there was something called Guru Dakshana. For having taken classes, taken your wisdom, taken your knowledge, I pay you a suitable. But today, if you leave it to them, they will not pay you a single penny. And therefore, hospital has a registration fee, and you build a huge hospital. And today, with due respect, culprits in hospital. My staff goes the other day, a villager goes for delivering. The doctor says, immediately remit 7 lakh. Twin children, we have to operate today. I said, nothing doing. I will deliver, discharge the patient and go and do it somewhere. They said, no, it was a wrong identity. Third day, normal delivery, 35,000 rupees. There is no dharma within you. And this was a catchword of India, living a life of righteousness. And today we keep talking in every sitting home. The country is going to dogs. I tell them, country is not going to dogs. You are going to dogs. You live it and try and see it. The world will follow you. But the world doesn't have a model. And we all take up as role model 2 categories of wrong people. One is the politician and then the film actors. And today you see the mess that's happening among the suicides that's happening. Are these the people? You ask any Indian, tell me a great master of India. And I tell them, please don't mention the name of Swami Vivekananda. That is the only name they know. Tamil Nadu, every village, there was a saint. Kerala, every village had great acharya. Maharashtra is full of saints. Teach them that. and they are the role model. And all our epic books are not formal textbook. Bhagavatam is full of management stories. I would suggest to Nehru College, you have MBA, make Bhagavatam a part of your textbook. Make Bhagavad Gita full of lessons. How many lessons? Don't blindly say it's a Hindu text and read it and leave it. You take the message, convert it into the proper rational thinking. And I know there are so many people who say, I read one shloka a day, and that's like a radar for me. My whole day goes as per that shloka. These were the ancient methods. So talk all this to your child. But first thing is make yourself available like a friend to your child. And they don't get into the wrong company. Consider them as young days. I was in school. All my friends were billionaires. But my mother would say, no going for a film with them. You can't afford it. Take our servant here, go with them. What fun for going for a cinema. And those days I used to curse my parents. And today, thank them every day for making me walk out. So become a good parent, become a good teacher. Ask that child, what did you study today? Make them repeat it. And you'll feel the child gets a feeling, there is somebody who wants me. Today, most of them are orphans. You did deliver them, you threw them off and you walked away. Making money for what? And ancient India says, for your personal livelihood, you cannot work for more than 2.5 hours. Limit your lifestyle. Today, you find how many people, ordinary officers, raided how many houses, how many kilos of gold, how many cars, how many wives. Do you need all that? I got an IPS officer arrested because of his notoriety when Indira Gandhi died. They were asking money for people, policemen to be sent for safeguarding the fire area. Got him raided. He's got 2 wives. He's got estates in Munnar. And when he was questioned, how did you buy the estate in Munnar? He said, I have my own chicken and so I sell eggs. Selling eggs, you can buy an estate in Munnar. So who is not corrupt? And with due respect to women folk, the pressure from home, the demand that they raise, the husband is to a great extent a corrupt person. Live the righteous life. You live the righteous life, the child will learn it. And that is the education you should give. And I would say start homeschooling. Put a few children together, the bright one, brilliant ones, teach them dance and music. Minimum English they need to know. First, before that, they should know the mother tongue. Because in the mother tongue, in Tamil, what all beautiful granthas you have, can a single child go into a convent school chant any of those Tirukurals or anything? No. Malayalam, how many great poets were there who sang such beautiful, meaningful poetry? Do they know that? They don't know that. They know every vulgar word in English. Teach them that and little mathematics so that when you get money, how to count it. Other than this, all the other subjects. Later on, when you grow up, you take up the subject of your choice. Want to become an IT expert, want to become an Ayurvedic doctor, want to become a modern medicine man, go for that. But the foundation has to be culture. I hope I answered your question.
Thank you.
I have a small, I have a small, it cannot be a question, but I just want, out of eagerness, I'm just asking.
Please.
That is regard to chakra, which I think my Professor Andrudhan has already learned and taught us for 5 days. So is it chakras really, making a lot of difference in our life?
Unbelievable. It is not something where you can just learn a lesson like that. Somebody who already mastered the science. Taken
Okay. We just got 10 days learning from that. So I just want to know whether we can share to all the people.
Certainly you can. It's a good exposure. but to master it, how to elevate your Muladhara Chakram to the next one, and the next one, and the next one. There are mantras for that, there are postures for it, there are definite specific numbers of chanting to be completed. One of my students, the first student of mine, another Dr. Krishnakumar from Vadagara, is an authority on Tantra. And anything and every subject you give him, he can speak for hours together. Where does that knowledge come from? From within. And each chakra, what it does. From some chakra you master, you learn the music. Others, the worldly thing. At the second level, your family planning. All these are hidden mysteries inside the body. Bring it
Okay,
out.
okay. Namaste ji. Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you for answering.
Mr. Vanugopal from JCET. I have some clarifications from
Please.
your side. One is how to inculcate value-based education, especially as it referred in the new educational policy. And the second one is for science can be incorporated in our educational system. And the third question is, since in Bhagavad Gita says that there is a lot of influence of food in the character building. So should we go for sattvic food like vegetarianism? Can we propagate that? So can you just enlighten us on these 3 points?
In Ayurveda, we say, Annam Aushadam. Your food is your medicine. And Ayurveda does not object to non-vegetarian. But it classifies according to your body constitution. Don't take river fish, take pond fish, or take ocean fish. It very, very clearly specifies, take the right food. And inculcating values, talking on these topics, which school teaches about Dharma, Satya. And these are all unchanging values in a changing society. When I started Ivy College, it was 100% free, boarding, lodging, tuition, books, clothes. I selected my student based on horoscope. When you're born, it says what you're likely to become. This, again, Government of India secretary called me and said, so wherever I go to India, I find the best positions are yours. How did you create that? I said, ma'am, because you never interfered. Then why did you stop it? Because you interfered. You start again, provided you don't interfere. And I suggested this. These are all ancient techniques. Today, you find the biggest top people, when they are in soup and in problem, come to consult an astrologer. Don't you do that? I always keep saying astrology is like an MRI. It can look into your past for last so many lives. Give them an orientation to all these things of truthful living, of not telling lies, respecting the parents. Teach the child at least to do namaskaram to the father and mother before leaving house. And today, why so many spine problems? Nobody has learned the art of even bending down. And that's why you get so many spondylosis cases. I had the granddaughter of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel at our hospital for treatment. She said, we 93 of us stay in one house in Mumbai. And we have inculcated this. I said, how many people have you got to do namaskaram? She said, I am the number 2 in the family. So I have to do only one namaskaram. Imagine the 93rd child situation. 93 namaskaram. Gradually, even if you don't want, humility comes. And today, what arrogance. How many children are not prepared to even introduce their parents because the poor parent is a villager, unqualified, doesn't know English, and the girl doesn't want to introduce her father. Can you ever disrespect it? Proudly, can you not say, this is my father? And you ask him, he says, no money. How much of land you have? I have 12 acres of land. What an asset it is. They have never taught him. All want to sell, take the money, put it in the bank, and eating out of the deposit. It is not the money, it is the privilege of doing a work. And why can't, like ancient days, you continue the child to teach all these things? Now it's going to come back to all that again. Thanks to the joblessness, you will see youngsters are going to start milking the cow, start selling milk, start selling various commodities which they were shying away earlier. Now it's come to a question of life and death. So instead of this coming to you, you opt for it. Along with that, of course, go. Yesterday, somebody was saying in a shop in Coimbatore, such a nice shop. The son is working in Infosys, sitting at home for 4 months. Can't he come and help the father? Every home asks him, can we order on phone? He says, sir, I got time. And he says, if I keep anybody for working, they rob me. Not to rob. And for all this, you have wonderful stories available. So storytelling should be one session. There are wonderful teachers who take storytelling classes, make them listen to it. And all this is going to come naturally. It's happening now. So I hope I've answered your questions.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir,
Thank
one
Thank you, sir.
question
Thank you, sir.
in YouTube by Dr. Suresh Kumar Akarwal, and he asks, sir, please advise a few simple tips for spiritual fitness.
Well, spiritual fitness, the meditation.
Yes.
And if you can get uh, blessed with some mantra upadesha. All these students who wanted the 5 a.m. class requested me. Mantra is not given on the laptop or long distance, but like Ramanujacharya did, I tried a modern method. I said, okay, sit properly, think of your ancestors, think of your parents, think of all your family deities, all your teachers and gurus, and let me initiate you into it. And thereafter, they say, what wonderful things are happening in life. Even today, one girl calls me from Seattle in the morning and saying, I can't believe things are changing in my life. That inner journey is very simple. But for that, first learn the art of sitting quiet. We have become so restless that we can't know how to even sit for 5 minutes. In the initial days, children, you say, so yesterday I meditated for 5 minutes, nothing happened to me. Today, that great text says, and there are how many great texts? Tattva Bodha, Atma Bodha, Viveka Chudamani. Viveka Chudamani is what? The power of discretion, the crown of right choice. And today, why are so many international companies collapsing? A small error, and that's it. I keep telling the name of a great IIT gold medalist who went to America, became the president of one of the biggest corporations, did a small fraud, and he was put in jail. So culture, knowledge with culture doesn't help. So that foundation has to be given. And as teachers, I know it's going to be a language which is not acceptable or known to the students, but force it and tell them, in your own interest, take up to this. And you see the perception cover. I keep telling everybody, very easy to find out in a crowd who is a teacher and who is a non-teacher. The teacher always has a habit of saying, I hope you understood. Purinjada. That means they know that your student never understood anything. And that's why I have a habit of keep on asking, did you understand? Did you understand? That perception capacity, because we've got such a distracted mind. That ekagrata shraddha, that single-minded concentration is a must for the student. And please try to spread this message.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So one last question from anyone participants. And we have one question in chat box, sir, from Srihari Devi. How to control your stress, which it should not attract your brain and mind, because stress make my disease.
Well, my simple technique has been to become spiritual, and stress is something what we call ignorance. You think things are not happening the way you want because you think you are the doer. You do your best and leave it, and why get stressed? And you find automatically wonderful results coming. But the moment you are stressed, it is your mind which gets affected. And when your mind gets affected, you are disturbed. And then you get angry with people for no reason. Your whole samskaram becomes different. Therefore, taking to meditation, a little bit of prayers, and gradually you'll find nothing will stress you, de-stressing. I can recommend and say for stress, we have a beautiful treatment called Dara, but all that is not required. Having proper wisdom. Tattva Jnanad Eva Mukti, our great text says. Once you know the ultimate truth, then you get moksham from or liberated from stress, anger. Everybody says, how do I control my anger? It is when you don't get what you desired that the anger comes out. But try not to desire too much. And when we desire, the Lord gives you what you wanted. But had you not desired, He was actually planning to give you something more. So you belittled His thought of wanting to give you by making it very small. And what do you need? There are wonderful Zen masters, Chinese stories, etc., which says nothing that I need. And the angels feel jealous of them and says, can I go back to earth and live a life like this man who has no desire at all? And you find you never desired to be born in a family like this. You never desired for this many kilos of oxygen per day. You never desired for this much of water per day. Have you not been allocated all this? And if your maker knows this much, does he not know what is good for you and bad for you? But your external education made you feel, I am full of knowledge. There's nothing that I don't know. You don't have to tell me I know how to manage my life. And that is where they mismanage. I keep saying mismanage, and ultimately go to the Lord.
Ma'am, Dr. S. Shanti ma'am will deliver the word of thanks. HOD ma'am?
Yes, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes. Honorable Chief Guest, respected CEO and Secretary, sir, Principal ma'am, faculty members, participants and students, good afternoon to one and all present here. It's my pleasure and privilege to propose the vote of thanks on behalf of Nehru Group of Institutions and Nehru Institute of Management Studies. First of all, I thank God Almighty for blessing us with this wonderful day. My sincere thanks to our beloved CEO and Secretary, sir, for spending his valuable time with us today and for his presidential address. Thank you very much, sir. And my heartfelt thanks to our respectable chief guest, Padmasri PR Krishnakumar, sir, Managing Director, the Arya Vaidya Pharmacy, Coimbatore, and Chancellor of Avinaslingam Institute of Home Science and Higher Education for Women, Coimbatore. Today, we had a great opportunity to hear from you lot of information, sir, about your Ayurvedic and Siddha medicines, and also about what is reality today, talking from immunity, education, and speeches, yoga, etc. And which has enlightened our minds, and this will surely encourage us to go in right path. Thank you very much, sir, for accepting our invitation
Thank
and
you.
for your valuable speech. Next, a special thanks to our principal ma'am for being the catalyst that stimulate us to do our best and standing as pillar of strength. Thank you very much, ma'am. I also thank all the principals, HOD, staff members, and also I need to mention my deepest sense of appreciation and also thank to our faculty members for their cooperation and support for organizing this webinar. And I also extend my thanks to all the participants who attended this program and expect the same support in future also. And also I thank our media support, Roshan, for making this a live streaming program. Thank you, Roshan. And my lovable thanks to all our students. Once again, thank you all. Kanan sir, over to Kanan sir.
Thank you very much,
Thank
ma'am.
you. Thank you so much, Krishnakumarji, and no words. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
We all happy to get your blessing, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so
Namaste.
much, sir.
Not at all. Pleasure was mine.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all, sir.
It was a great blessing day for us. You gave a lot of insight. I'm sure the teachers who have listened to you will take home, will certainly transform whatever small insight they got through this session, sir. I'm so happy that few students also attended. So the next generation also must have learned something from this session. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all, sir.
Excuse me, sir. What is the year in the feedback form?